Well, what's up guys? Well, I am getting ready to start work on the VW shortly, but should have a video in 2, maybe 3 weeks after you see this, maybe sooner, I'm not quite sure, but anyway, I digress. This video was actually shot about August of last year. Now, for those of you that saw some of my updates and everything, you know I had a buyer for the Transit, and they asked me to put an additional screen in. So I did make an unboxing video, but I actually thought I'd lost the footage. Long story short, it was back when I had my camera issues and it was a corrupted SD card. I have, however, been able to recover that, so just to get the channel back up and running again, here it is. So obviously I'm talking about a couple that were going to buy the van that didn't, so you know, just bear with me. Anyway, let's get into it. What's up guys, and welcome back. So, just going to do a little bit of an unboxing on this 7-inch TFT screen. It's off eBay. I'll stick a link in the description, etc. Let's keep your hands out of the shot, John. Anyway, so the couple that are buying the van asked if I could install an additional screen. Well, the husband did anyway. Basically what he wants is, rather than having to look over to the centre screen for the sat-nav GPS, he wanted a screen mounted somewhere around the instrument cluster, so that he could just glance down at that. So grabbed hold of this, and yeah, let's do a quick unboxing and we will get it installed. So it's just a generic brand, 7-inch TFT. Yeah, so let's basically get into the box. It's a bit breezy, so I do apologise. So usual packaging, just stick that under there. So that is obviously the screen. We'll put that to one side for the moment, and let's see what else we get in the box. So, instruction manual in Chinese. Okay, I'll stick him to one side. Obviously, we'll need him. Double-sided. I think that's double-sided tape. Yeah, double-sided pad, and we have the mounting bracket. Oh, and I've just noticed something. Yes, there is a remote in this. Just your generic Chinese remote. I think they use these things on just about everything. I don't think it includes a battery, but that's not a problem. It's just a large, like a large penny style battery. But I've actually got a dash mount. Well, yeah, I didn't realise it came with this. Basically, it looks like you can mount that inside of, say, edge of a cabinet or whatever, and the screen will just pop into it. I like it. Didn't realise it came with that. Anyway, it's not going into that. I'm sorry, I was just having a side thought here. If this screen is actually good enough, I wonder if I could use one of these screens as a dash. Anyway, doesn't matter. We'll come back to that at another time. But right, so yeah, it's basically. And I've just lost a nut off it. Just one moment. Okay, we're back. Yeah, that little nut there dropped off and obviously disappeared. But meanwhile, the actual cable that I need to connect the screen up has arrived. So put him to one side. Anyway, this guy, there's quite a lot of adjustment in him. So you can either be dashboard mounted, you can be mounted on the windshield, you can mount it above from the mirror. I don't know where it's going to be mounted yet, but yeah, he basically screws onto the back of the screen. So I'm going to drop all these bits back in there so I don't lose them. Obviously keep the very informative instruction manual. Put that back in there. I'm trying to keep everything together because I'm not sure whether I'll actually get into doing the screen now or whether that's going to be tomorrow. So I don't want to lose anything. So let's just So it is your basic 7-inch screen. Now, I don't know if you can see, there's fingerprints and looks like a few scratches on the screen, but it's still got its protective coating on, so I haven't removed that yet. But it's very basic. It does allegedly, it does have speakers in it, but obviously I won't be using those. They're probably going to be terrible. But anyway, so you've got basic controls. You've got obviously a volume for the speakers, but you've also got a menu which allows you just brightness, contrast, all of that good stuff. Power button so you can turn the screen off. Now, there's no other functionality on the screen. It is just a screen, but other than it does have a connection for the backup camera. Now, I am connecting the backup camera to this. Again, that's another thing that he requested, that backup camera. Anyway, so we've got 3 connections. The yellow, I believe, is for the backup camera. The white, I'll have to have a look at it. I'll have to try and figure this out later. I'm not sure, but I think the yellow is backup camera. The white is for the auxiliary input, and obviously the red one is for your power, and of course the signal wire for the backup camera. And that is really it. If we take a look at the back here, that bracket, that nut that I dropped, I assume just slides into there. Then you can tighten the bracket down, and of course you've got all kinds of adjustments on it. I'm just looking at the specifications on the back there. It doesn't really tell you much. 12 to 24 volts. Any specifications I can find on it, I will actually stick up on the screen. So, but there we have it. Basic TFT. Now, obviously, I don't know what it's going to look like, so that is really going to come down to what it. So, actually, it built quality for the price. This was 1995 GB. So at the moment, that's what, about $25. Let me just get out that sun because I keep flashing the camera. So yeah, about $25. So I'm not expecting amazing video quality. If I recall, I think the resolution was something like 1080 by 600. It was something in that range. It was the usual stuff. These screens aren't high definition or anything like that. So, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to just sit in the van for a moment or two and just try and figure out a good mounting location. Try not to lose that nut again, and yeah, we'll get back to it. So I now have the bracket attached. You can see it there. It will swivel 180 degrees. I really need to get a better camera. Anyway, so it'll swivel like that. So basically it'll 360 degrees, so you can mount the screen wherever you like. So I'm just sitting here. I'm gonna have 5 minutes and just move the screen around, see if I can just figure out where I would like to place it. But yeah, his initial thought was something like that. I'm not so sure about that because that is blocking off part of the screen. I'm thinking maybe somewhere over there or something like that. But let me just have a bit play around and see what I can come up with. So one location I'm looking at is just there. Still have your cell phone there. Problem is this is fixed. This is fixed to the dashboard, so I can't actually move that anywhere. Because what I might have done is actually move the screen so it's sitting a little bit lower down, but it's going to be right in the midst of that. So yeah, but I think that is actually let's stick a cell phone on there. So that's not bad, not bad. Obviously it's not perfectly straight, but I'm still just, the other place was over here. Yeah. Yeah, I can't really move it any lower because it interferes, you can't see the screen for the steering wheel, so I'm trying to hold the camera roughly at about my eye line so that you can see what it looks like. Biggest concern is when it comes to MOTs, because it's, although it is blocking part of the windscreen, it's, from where I'm sitting, it's not actually covering anything more than the windshield wipers. I'm going to try it over on this side. I think that's a better location there. You can get the controls easier. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be where it gets mounted. Yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Yeah. Actually, let's go back up to my head height again. Let's, I don't know though, let me just play a bit more. I like it there. It's not, from where I'm sitting, it's basically the top edge of it is on line with the windshield wipers outside, so it's not taking up any additional space. One thing that you've got to be really aware of in the UK is there is, for inspection for MOT, there are regulations surrounding what can be, how much of the windshield can actually be blocked with screens or phone holders or whatever. So, I mean, some MOT places don't really, pay that much attention, but some do, so. But I think that is a good location. Now, let me just see, what can I do with a cell phone holder? Well, I'm going to leave it for now though. I need to take this head unit out and actually get everything connected up before I make any decisions. So, yeah, I think I'll concentrate on that first, and then we'll come back to the actual location, because there's enough cable on it. I'm not worried about basically, as long as I'm not like putting it over there or something. So decisions. I mean, honestly, it would to me it would look good up there. But again, it's like, yeah, sometimes people can be, let's just say, awkward. Yeah, because that there would put it in line with where you would normally have a interior mirror on this. I don't know. Anyway, let's just get it connected to the head unit, make sure everything works before I start drilling holes or worrying about where we're going to mount things. Well, here we go again. Yeah, I've just got everything temporarily set up there, but screen does not power up. Tried holding the button and nothing. Get that flash. Should get menu up. Nope. Well, I didn't expect this review to end here. We've been down this path. We've been down this road so many times. I'm glad I didn't drill any holes or anything. Oh my god. Yeah. And I have tested the power. There is 12 point something volts, so it's getting plenty of power. I'm speechless. Well, I'm speechless once again. Well, I guess this is going to be a very short and sweet video. Yeah, I've also tried it, I've got the reversing camera hooked up as well. I've tried it with that, and it's the same thing. As soon as you put it in reverse, the screen flashes and then it does nothing. So yes, not a very positive review. So I will stick this back in, tidy all the harness back up again, and yeah, we will come back to this. Well, I'll let you know what happens one way or another, but yeah, screen just isn't powering on. Let me take a photograph, because eBay insists on you sending a photo of a non-working product. I can't get my cell phone out in my pocket. Anyway, let me take a photograph of this. So I've got it for eBay, and yeah, here we go again. Well guys, it's about 2 weeks later, and I do eventually have a replacement screen. So this one has not come from the original supplier. Long story short, just problem after problem with them. Contacted them, said the screen was faulty. First thing they did was send a returns label. So got it all packaged up, sent it off. Took a few days to get there. Then all of a sudden I get an email from Royal Mail informing me that the parcel had been rejected and it was on its way back to me. So I contacted eBay, and they said no. They looked at the tracking information and said, yeah, they've rejected the parcel, even though they supplied the label. So yeah, I don't know where that old screen is at. So I looked around. I found another company selling basically the same screen. There's a lot of them about. They're on eBay, they're on Amazon, they're on AliExpress, you know, you name it. So pick this one up off eBay. It arrived. So before I do anything, before I take the head unit out or anything like that, I am going to pop this out and pop the hood and connect it up to power, just to make sure it's working. But yeah, as you can see, it's basically the same screen. So let's just connect it to power, make sure it is actually powering up. Okay, so this one is powering up. I've had to connect it to the battery. I didn't film it. It's you know, I need like 15 hands to hold everything. So, but it does power up. So next thing I'm going to do is connect it to the head unit, and then we'll test for signals coming from the head unit. So basically got it set up there. But one thing that I noticed, and I've noticed this several times before with buying maybe the same Chinese manufactured product but from different suppliers. Although the unit looks exactly the same, all the cabling, everything's the same, and the packaging is all virtually identical, a couple of little slight differences is the packaging on this one has the wiring diagram on the side, and I don't remember looking at it closely, but the little instruction thing is different as well. The little setup screen thing. So now I have bought and sold stuff from Chinese manufacturers before, and something I was told many years ago is that sometimes for a product such as this, you have companies that will actually design them, and then they sell the designs to various manufacturers. So you may get basically what looks like an identical device, but it could be made by a completely different manufacturer. And this goes back to a video I made well, several years ago now, when I was looking at parking sensor kits. And several kits that I looked at and tested, they basically looked identical. But when you actually got into them, sometimes the plastics in the actual manufacturing seem to be different. some of them seem to be better quality than others, and so on and so forth. So I think what we have here is another example of that. It is basically the same screen as the one I've already had, the one that I've returned, but it's just made by a different manufacturer to the same specifications. So yeah, just one of those little interesting possibilities, facts. I don't know if I want to call it a fact, but just my opinion. Anyway, let's get on with it. Okay, it is working. So let's just put the ignition on. I should get backup camera. Obviously the backup camera is just pointing at a hedge at the moment, but yeah, we've got backup camera. And we go back to, oops, dropping that on the floor. So we have navigation. Hey, we are working. Now obviously it's not as bright as this screen, but as a secondary screen, I think that's going to work very nicely. So yeah, I'm a bit happier with this one. So we're just going through the various settings here. It looks a little bit pink. I'm going to adjust the contrast and the colour and everything on it because it is looking a bit this is actually a really nice screen on this one. It's one of the best screens I've seen, to be honest. And but yeah, let's just have a bit play about with this, adjust the brightness and the contrast and everything, and see where it gets us. So let's just take a closer look at some of the functionality on here. So first one is brightness. Obviously I've got the brightness all the way up. Yeah, that's one thing that's annoying. It goes off very quickly. So we've got contrast. I've got quite a bit of contrast on this. I think I'll take it up a little bit more. Saturation, I've got the saturation ramped right up as well. And tint, I'm not sure what the tint does. Not really. Oh, it's adding a bit more red there. It's adding a bit more blue there. So yeah, I think I'll go back to the warmer colour. Yeah, that's fine. Language, English. 16:9. Rotation, you can actually mount this upside down, and so if you want to mount it from the roof or something, then you can flip the rotation. And last but not least, oh, the factory reset. So I'm not sure what these all do. Oh, I see what it is. That one, you can actually rotate that on the button as well. Oh, and that switches to the other camera feed. Now obviously it doesn't have the, I'm not in reverse, so the backup camera is not on. And these, I don't think these, I think all they do is, yeah, I think just they are just for the menu buttons, for the menu functions. So that's it. That is all of the functionality of this little screen. So one final thing. You do actually get a remote control with it. Obviously it's right in front of me, so I don't need it, but if you were to use this off, say, I don't know, the side of the van or something like that, a second monitor, just, you know, something to watch videos on or something like that, then you know, the remote might come in handy. But it's there, and it's just basic thing. It just, you know, obviously turns it on and off, and just controls all of the other functions, that same as what the buttons do on the front. I mean, I don't really see the point of it, but it's there and it works. So what do I think of it? I just noticed the date's wrong. Huh. What? Why is the date wrong? It doesn't matter. You know what? I'll fix that later. Yeah. Overall, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. It was about £20. So, you know, £20 screen, you're not expecting a huge amount. So, I mean, it's not going to be like tablet quality. But for a second screen, it works. I'm happy with it. Yeah, build quality is, like I said, the original one, the build quality was okay. The mounting bracket and everything, it works. You know, it's nothing spectacular, but it does work. It's now some of these I've seen do have a sucker, like a suction cup for the windshield. Honestly, I think if it was on the windshield, especially when it's a bright winter's day like it is today, you're going to struggle to see it. But otherwise, it's okay. You know, and that's my take on this. If I had to say anything about it, just it's okay. There are much better screens out there, but you're also paying 40, 50, 60, 100. I mean, I've seen some of these little 7-inch screens, I've seen like 140, 150. So you can really get up there. And to be honest, if I was doing this for myself, I might consider that. But then again, in all honesty, if I was doing this for myself, I'm happy with the middle screen, you know. When I originally put this unit in, it was for me, and I'm quite happy with the original screen. But like I say, the new buyers, they wanted something kind of around this area somewhere, so they could basically look at the GPS straight on, more like a modern vehicle, you know, where you've got it down on the instrument cluster. But yeah, otherwise, that's it. So I hope you get something out of this. It'll at least give you a bit of an inclination about these screens. And yeah, there you go. So as I usually say, take care, have a good one, and come back and see me sometime. Well folks, there we have it. I'm glad I actually came across that video, because I have not had any content out for quite some time, and I haven't been working on the VW either. I've been a little bit unwell, and had a few other things that I needed to do. I have just gotten the paint for the VW to finish off the door. I'm having an issue with it. Oh God, I don't even, yeah. I've had the same problem as I had last year. It's arrived, and when I've opened it up, it's the wrong shade. So I'm trying to get them to sort this out now. I need to get on with this. I really need this VW. I need to start moving along with this. It is actually a really nice spring day, should I say. I was going to say summer. It's not summer quite yet, but it's a really nice spring day. And I'll be honest, my plan had been to get the door out, get everything washed down, and get it dried up, and start painting, get the door painted, get it on, and then I was going to go back and start working on the headliner and everything. But that is currently at a complete standstill. So, like I say, I do apologise. I have not had any videos out for quite some time, because I really haven't been doing anything. So, yeah, just trying to get back into the swing of things. So hopefully, where am I pointing the camera? So hopefully this video will kind of, yeah, be the beginning again. I'm frustrated. I'm just frustrated. It's like, really, oh, is this how we're beginning the year again? So anyway, take care and have a good one.